Good morning. I am Cheryl Casoni. I'm in for Maria Bartiromo. It is Tuesday. It is August 18th. It is 7 a.m. on the East Coast. Take a look at futures right now. We're down slightly on the Dow by 14 points. We did get a boost earlier from Home Depot numbers that crossed the tape, the double beat on that company, of course, a Dow component. But the S&P is down by 36, NASDAQ down by 354. Let's take a look at oil this morning because we've been watching more action in the oil markets. Right now, Brent is slightly lower, but we are at that psychological level of $90.70. 84.86 on WTI. Looking at rates right now as we talk about the bond market in general, we are seeing rates on the rise, 4.74% on the 10-year right now. It is time for the hot topic of the hour. Voters are heading to the polls today for another day of primaries. In California, a special election to fill former Congressman Eric Swalwell's seat. In Wyoming, voters will choose their governor, their House and Senate candidates. And in Alaska, a key Senate race for Republicans who nearly hold the majority. President Trump posting on Truth Social this morning, quote, "Alaska, be careful. Vote for the real Dan Sullivan today. Through me, he's brought hundreds of billions of dollars back to your state. Vote for the incumbent senator." But the main focus is becoming Florida, where the Democrat Party's future could be decided. Democratic Socialists of America backing Oliver Larkin against incumbent Jerry Moskowitz. This is Florida's 25th congressional district. Now, here's what Larkin says he's campaigning on in the Sunshine State. Watch.
We see in this community is the termination of TPS status for our Haitian neighbors, for immigrants. This is impacting South Florida's labor force, of which immigrants are the backbone. Who is going to fill those jobs? Where we have an administration in Washington, D.C. that is instituting this campaign of mass detention, we do not need ICE to keep our communities safe. When there are individuals that are found out of paperwork, they have lost their documented status. These are not criminal acts. These are civil, administrative issues that can be amended.
A new poll from the Financial Times finding 44% of registered voters favor Democrats when it comes to handling the economy. Only 38% say Republicans are more effective. Plus, a CBS News YouGov survey showing Democrats largely have a positive view of socialism over capitalism. 58% like socialism, while 32% favor capitalism. Tiffany, your reaction, because we've seen this shift in particular in these younger voters, and they keep coming back and saying it's because of their economic conditions.
Yeah, well, socialism sounds good, and it's picking up steam. Everything free, and it all sounds good until the budgets run dry and you're standing in a breadline. Reality of socialism will not work in this country, but I think it sets up an interesting place for Republicans heading into these midterms, and especially these general elections, is that they need to be strong on their messaging. They need to be strong in the fact that they will take on like insurance giants that have soaring fees and these hidden fees and soaring premiums that are affecting the American people. They need to pass meaningful health care reform so the American people know that there will be more money in their pocket. And not only that, ensure that they will lower prescription costs, that we will also invest in innovation, American innovation for next generation treatments, that there is a confidence in the future for the American people. And that's the challenge that the Republicans have heading into the general election. And will it hold against these DSA candidates who are selling something that really they will not be able to deliver on? And in Florida 25 particularly, it will be interesting because that seat could very well flip to a Republican.
It's so interesting because, Samir, you know, as we look at Florida, we had on Congresswoman Cammack with us yesterday. And one of the things we're seeing in particular in this Florida primary is the amount of money and the ads that are focusing on the data centers and those being built out, in particular in Florida. But listen to what she told me about the economy and the messaging. Because I asked her, look, when you've got numbers like this that say that Americans are upset about gas prices and electricity prices, et cetera, how do you and your party effectively communicate what you have done for the voters? Here's what Congresswoman Cammack said to me yesterday. Watch.
When it comes down to it, voters in November of all ages are going to have to make the decision. Do they want equal opportunity, or do they want equal outcome? Socialism is equal outcome, and capitalism, it is equal opportunity. And I think at the end of the day, Americans are uniquely built for equal opportunity. We want our shot at the American dream. And how we do that is through the really not sexy work of permitting reform and deregulation and getting those bits across the finish line, taking on the big insurance companies that have effectively broken our healthcare system. We are so overregulated, and the permitting reform is so jacked up that we need to do that work. It's not sexy in Washington, but we've got a very short window in which to accomplish that in September. We've also got to get our appropriations bills across the finish line, because the more money that Washington takes and spends, that's less money in our pockets. And so we've got to do some significant cutting at the federal budget level. And of course, there's other ticket items for some up and coming industries like crypto. There's some crypto certainty and regulatory work that is going to be happening. We've got the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act. There is a long list of things that have to get accomplished in September on top of the Save America Act. I know in the House, we're ready to run. The question is the Senate going to play ball and do their job, roll up their sleeves and get to work? That is what is on the line in September.
Samir, your reaction to that?
Well, Cheryl, I love what the Congresswoman said around economic opportunity, because Republicans and Democrats have two very different views of how they want to paint this picture for the younger and older generations. One is around the Republican notion of subsidizing production. We need to bring jobs back to the United States. We need to invest in the United States. We need to make things here again, and we need to limit imports. Let's subsidize production, whether that's in the energy market, semiconductors, critical minerals. Let's make more here. The Democrats want to subsidize consumption. They want to say, let's reduce the cost of your transportation, reduce the cost of your rent, reduce the cost of your food. But all of that are really Band-Aid measures, and they artificially change a whole economy, whereas the Republican visions are on building these economies and competing at a global stage. I think, and I'm a millennial, I think my generation knows that we want to fight and be a prosperous country for the next 50 years, not the next 5 years. So I'm in favor of the Republican vision here. I think it makes more sense.
Yeah, no. Well, certainly all of this is coming into play today as the polls start to open in places like Florida. We're going to be watching it throughout the day. Meanwhile, there is this. New York City's apartment rent freeze is set to take effect in October, but experts say the already high rents in the Big Apple might get worse because of this policy. Fox Business's Madison Allworth is live in Brooklyn, New York, with more. Madison.
Hey, good morning, Cheryl. Yeah, New York City rents have hit an all-time high. And what I'm hearing from experts is that it is definitely going to get worse when that rent freeze goes into effect on October 1st. Right now, the median rent in New York City is $3,700, and that is because supply is constrained. Right now, 57,000 apartments sit empty across New York City, primarily because of a 2019 law. It did a number of things, but most importantly, it prevents landlords from increasing rent even if they renovate. So for many, it makes more financial sense to not renovate at all and to let the apartments sit empty. And it is about to get worse when the rent freeze kicks in, because for the first time ever, rent-stabilized apartment, like the one I'm in right now, this 3-bedroom, cannot have rents increased at all for 2 years. I am here with Natalia Bonanno, who's standing with me in the kitchen. Frank is checking out the bathroom for you. Natalia, your family owns this building and this unit. Tell me about the last tenants, and why are you rushing to get this renovation done by October 1st?
So the prior tenants did not pay rent for almost 2 years, owed us about $70,000. We were finally able to evict them for not paying, and we're just trying to get everything done to get it rented before October 1st so we can get the 3% annual increase, since the rent freeze doesn't go into effect until October 1st, and in addition to the renovation increase.
So the rent for this apartment was $2,400. That is 50% below the median rent for a 3-bedroom in Brooklyn. Yeah. So $2,400, 3% increase doesn't even get you close to that almost $5,000. If this 2019 law were not in effect and this rent freeze were not in effect, what would you charge to cover some of the renovation and to still keep it rent stabilized?
So for this area, we would try to keep it around $3,000, and we would be able to do a full gut renovation instead of the bare minimum to make it habitable.
Yeah, what would this need and what are you actually doing in terms of renovation?
So, in my opinion, it needs brand new kitchen, new bathroom, and, you know, some changes to the floors. They're covered up right now, but there are a lot of holes. So right now we're just, you know, fixing anything that needs to be fixed, like holes in the floors and broken tiles. We're replacing. We're not doing a full gut job. We're not replacing the cabinets or pretty much anything in the kitchen besides the appliances.
And then real quick, October 1st, you guys own 3 buildings in Brooklyn. What's going to happen for your family business when that rent freeze goes into effect?
So it's just going to put constraint on all of our, you know, how much we spend. So any repairs that need to be done, we will do. There aren't going to be many upgrades or renovations of any kind. And, you know, we're just going to have to try and make do.
Natalia, thank you so much. You know, when I do these stories, Cheryl, what's so important to get across is that 2019 law, because that really prevents landlords from making the renovation. So for bigger landlords than Natalia's family, what that means for them is that they just don't put apartments on the market. So that's really bad for low-income New Yorkers who could use those 57,000 apartments. And then on the other hand, because there are fewer apartments, there's less supply, way more demand. So that means everything that does exist gets more expensive. And that's bad for pretty much all New Yorkers, kids moving here to start their careers, young professionals, families, everyone. And October 1st is the deadline for the first time ever a rent freeze for 2 years, Cheryl.
This is why during the New York City election season, we said repeatedly on this program that these policies, A, weren't going to work, B, were going to be bad for New Yorkers, and we're seeing that come to fruition, sadly, for the people in this city. Madison Allworth, thank you for that live report. We'll be right back, everybody. We've got Congressman Mike Lawler coming up next.